On today's episode of Hollyweird Paranormal Podcast, we continue with part 2 of our paranormal investigation at the East-West Players Theater in Little Tokyo, Los Angeles. We highly recommend that you get caught up with part 1 to learn more about the history and, of course, the hauntings. In part 2, you'll travel with myself and Bryce, along with the technical director, Andy, and the musical director, Mark, along with our friends, medium Tanya Mercado and paranormal investigator Matt Lytle, as we try to dissect and figure out who or what is haunting the East-West Players Theater. We go through the theater's hotspots where apparitions have been seen and people have heard the voices of men, women, and children. Tune in and help us find out who is the couple that Tanya, our medium, keeps on seeing throughout the entire interview and investigation. We also try to tackle the entity that people have seen in the balcony and in the green room. Could it be connected to the theater's former caretaker, Mr. Takahashi, or could it be connected to one of the East-West Players' earlier founders and performers, Mako Awamatsu? You also want to stay tuned for the EVP that we captured in the balcony area that validated everything that we were feeling, along with our Phasma box session and something that we may have captured on camera that was unexplainable or could be explainable in the women's restroom. You definitely don't want to miss out on this episode, and we definitely get Hollyweird with the East-West Players Theater in Little Tokyo, Los Angeles. So let's get Hollyweird with this investigation. Hey, all you Holly Weirdos. Thank you so much for tuning in to part 2 of our investigation at the East-West Players Theater in Little Tokyo, Los Angeles. There's a couple of things that we definitely want to get out of the way as we proceed with this investigation. First and foremost, you guys are also our paranormal investigators throughout this episode. So if you hear something or you caught something, definitely drop us a line on our Gmail at hollyweirdparanormal@gmail.com. Plus, we highly recommend that you follow East-West Players Theater on their Instagram at East-West Players. And if you want to learn more about their organization and the plays in the future, which they do have several coming up, then head on over to their website at eastwestplayers.org. So please go on and support them, go check them out. And if you live in and around the Los Angeles area, buy some tickets to go see their shows. You won't regret it. They're amazing. Okay, since we're on the topic of events, we have a very, very big event that is in 2 weeks happening in Santa Clarita. It is the first annual Parapod Festival, and it begins March the 31st and ends on April the 1st. This is a huge event, and myself and Bryce will be leading a panel with our friends Ellie Not So Confidential. We'll be talking about the true crime and hauntings of one of our favorite hotels in downtown Los Angeles. Take a hint. You're definitely an OG if you remember that episode, the Barclay Hotel. So we will be leading that panel on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I know it's early, but it's worth it, as we're going to be talking about the hotel, its hauntings, the serial killers, the crimes, everything. You definitely don't want to miss out on the event. On March the 31st, okay, if you buy your tickets, get this. This is what it includes. You are going to partake in the Mentryville Park Ghost Town Tour. And what's included in that? Stargazing with Ben Hansen, nighttime spirit circle with our Hollywood witch, Patty Negri, daytime spirit circle with Colby Rebel, and a haunted location tour and investigation with equipment. Parking is free, so you get to save money on that. Then we go into day 2. This is April the 1st. This is Saturday morning, so it will be a bit bright and early. The panels begin at 8 a.m. There will be many more panels throughout the entire day. You'll get to rub elbows with some of the most important people in the paranormal paranormal community, and you'll get to meet TV and radio personalities along with other healers, witches, vampires, and true crime and paranormal fanatics and creators. So you definitely don't want to miss out on it. Did we also mention that to end the entire festival will be a Parapod film and podcast festival award ceremony and red carpet event that is also included. Hollyweird Paranormal was nominated under the genre for Best True Crime Podcast. Thank you to everyone who voted. It really meant so much to us because we worked so hard on this podcast, and it's very amazing to be recognized, and we couldn't have done this without you. And I don't want to cry, so we're going to move forward with the next announcement. If you love Hollyweird Paranormal, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It really does help us indie podcasters out a lot. And follow us on our social medias. We're at Hollyweird Paranormal on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and at HWP Podcast on Twitter. You definitely want to be following us because we have another huge event in the horizons. You know, we may have something on May 20th around that time with some friends of ours, and it will probably take place in a pretty haunted and historical location. So you definitely want to follow us for more details in regards to that. You definitely don't want to miss out on it, and it's going to be such a cool event. So we will be doing a reveal very soon. And finally, we just wanted to say a huge thank you to Andy and Mark of the East West Players Theater. Thank you so much for allowing us to conduct this interview and investigation, for opening up your doors, opening yourselves up to us. And when it comes to the paranormal, people always, think we're trying to communicate and to connect with those or whatever we can't see or we just don't understand. But really, we connect with each other, with the living, more so than with the dead. And we definitely felt a connection here with the workers and obviously those that we couldn't see. So thank you so much, guys, for allowing us to come into your space and for being so open and for teaching us a lot about the history of the location and the East West Players Organization and Theater. But most of all, we also want to dedicate this episode in memory of all those who were affected or lost their lives to the Executive Order of 9066, and of course to Mako Awamatsu and Mr. Takahashi. And may they all rest in power. Now, without further ado, this is our part 2 to our paranormal investigation at the East West Players Theater in Little Tokyo. We have just finished our interview on the stage, and already we were greeted with a knock, a very unusual knock at the front door. Andy gets up to investigate what could have been the cause of that door making that noise, or could it have been possibly someone trying to get into the theater? But why and how? Considering that the gate, in order to enter into the theater's property before entering the theater itself, was also locked. And to his surprise, he couldn't come up with an explanation. And we already knew then and there that this was just a warm-up from whatever was making their presence known. They were ready for us to do our investigation. But most of all, they were ready for us to listen to what they had to say. Now, before the investigation, me and Bryce decided to sit down with Matt, Tanya, and Andy to go over the locations, pretty much the hot spots where people have claimed to have seen, felt, or heard anything. And especially based out of the stories that Andy had saved on an Excel spreadsheet, we had several locations in the theater that we definitely needed to conduct either EVP sessions or the Phasma voice box sessions. And first and foremost, we were going to start from the top and work our way to the bottom. So we started with the balcony. Now, if you remember from part 1, this is where people have claimed to have seen an apparition of a man in the seats. People have also claimed to have seen women laughing and drinking, pretty much having a good time. But people have been known to see apparitions, primarily of a man, in this area of the theater. And many believe it could be connected to the late actor Mako Awamatsu. So before we headed to the balcony, I had asked Andy to turn off the lights. Now, I'm sure some of you guys are thinking, oh, you're like one of those shows that like to investigate in the dark. I kind of do and I kind of don't, but I definitely wanted to set a tone because at times paranormal investigations can be a bit boring. So you definitely want to liven it up a little bit, just add a little bit of a scare factor. However, we had agreed to leave a couple of lights on just for safety reasons, which actually benefited us in the long run, considering that another set of accounts in this theater were shadow people. And we definitely captured quite a few of them from the balcony seats through several lights that were turned on. We could clearly see what looked like figures going back and forth down a hallway backstage that we could see past the theater stage. Now, we started the investigation in the balcony by asking questions. We left our EMF devices on the stage, and we had one in one specific area of the balcony, and it was quite silent. And based on Tanya's readings, she was definitely getting the message that whatever was there did not want to make communication, was a little shy, and at one point did not want us to be there. But while I was recording our investigation, I captured something that definitely validated what Tanya was predicting and receiving. So here it is.
That's fine.
Bryce, how do you feel?
I feel all of the emotions. I'm an actor. I feel all of them.
That's Bryce, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lean into
it, Bryce.
Lean into it.
You got it. Oh, turn it around in the back.
Oh, the RAM is on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That one was the most.
But the downstairs, right? The room that's unfinished?
No, it was.
Uh-oh.
We did have some of that. There was like a couple things. There was like some wine bottles that fell.
Did you catch it? Let's play it back one more time.
Stop.
It clearly sounds like a woman saying get out. And looking back on the footage, Tanya was not talking, neither was I. And it just validated what we were all feeling, like we just needed to get out. We weren't welcome in this area. We were imposing on someone's space. So that was obviously a cue to leave and go on to the next location, which was the women's restroom. So we make our way to the women's restroom, and this is an area where Mark had explained to us that while this building was laid dormant, I want to say in the 80s or 90s, it was taken over by squatters, and there may have been cases where squatters had OD'd in certain locations of this building. And this came from a reading from another medium that had noticed in this specific space, he was given an image of a man who had OD'd and had expired in this area.
You have your.
Yeah.
Maybe we can see it. With Leo?
If
You want the REM pod?
Yeah. What else did you have in mind?
Or K2. Or I thought you said spirit.
Oh, we could do the K2 in here. Hopefully there's no false negatives.
Yeah.
False positives, sorry. Do you have the K2 by any chance? Oh, it's right there? Okay, oh, perfect. I just want to make sure, like...
So far it's pretty
Yeah.
What goes down in here?
There we go.
What's like?
I don't know. This was just the input from the last investigators. When he went back there, he said, "There's something back here."
in the back.
Yeah.
In the back, right?
Yeah.
Alright, well.
Well, let's go in the back then.
Oh, the K2's
Whoa.
going off.
Do you want us to go in the back?
Did you see it? You
I saw it went to yellow.
Alright,
All right,
let's do it.
we're going to grab it and go to the back. Or we could leave the REM pod there.
That's also true.
We could do that. Okay.
You guys don't hear that?
What?
What?
Like footsteps?
I wonder if it's us.
No, it's like on carpet. You guys really don't hear that?
I didn't hear it.
Because there's no way.
Where are you hearing it, Tanya?
The back door is unlocked, but
I'm gonna set this out. I don't know if I should set this outside or by the sink.
Where'd you hear the footsteps?
Well, it was weird because we were standing here and then I thought I saw something here.
Okay.
And then I heard the footsteps.
I'm
and I
gonna
was like, oh.
I'm gonna put this right here. I go ahead and set up my EMF detector in the area where Tanya had heard the footsteps, and this is going to be a common theme throughout our investigation. something or someone is following us throughout this theater, keeping an eye on us. So definitely stay tuned to hear more of what's going to happen in the different areas that we investigate throughout this theater. Another theme, too, that Tanya picks up is that they're not a fan of her. And it's because at one point this location was a Christian church, and they kind of look down to individuals that have those abilities and gifts that Tanya has. Now, this is validated during a voice box session in the green room using the Phasma box. But something was definitely going to make somewhat of a presence known. Just listen carefully during our investigation in the women's restroom.
Ryan's in the ladies' room?
First of all, I always go.
Apparently, something or someone is in here, and we're gonna come chat with you. Can you make this spike just like it was when I was holding it? Oh, thank you. That was great. Right on cue.
Wow.
Are you male? And if you are, why are you in the women's bathroom? I could ask you the same thing.
Yeah.
Are you female? If you're female, can you make it spike again to yellow or red? Alright. So I don't know if that's... See, that could be
Wiring.
some sort of interference.
Yeah.
Electricity, so if you'd like to say yes to that, if you can make it light up all the way red.
No, you gotta go all the
There
way
you
to...
go.
Whoa.
That was good.
That was something. Potentially.
Did you used to work here?
Did you die here? Did you pass away in this location?
Yeah, to make it spike a little higher if that's a yes.
Yeah, and the way that you can do that is just by coming really close to those lights.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, the closer you get, you know, the more lights that you can turn on with your energy.
Yeah, do whatever you need to do to respond. Whatever energy you can pick and use, you can do it.
Is there a gentleman here with us? Did that go up?
That went up to basically orange.
How old are you? Are you in your 20s? 30s? Were you in your 40s? What about your 50s? Were you older? Semi-older?
Semi-older.
Are you an actor that does not disclose their age?
Do you watch the shows?
Well.
There you go. Do you still watch the shows today that go on? Are you happy this building is turned into what it is now? Do you want us to leave this bathroom? Okay, we get it.
That's funny, before you mentioned that it could be dust, but I had a couple of things fly past the camera before it lit. But I mean, like I said, it could be dust. Could it be?
Look at.
Is it dust?
Whoa. That's kind of weird. That was the first time it's done that.
Are you, or was that you? That's you.
Oh, wow.
That's
Oh,
you
wow.
making. Oh, okay. Bravo. Thank you so much for that performance. We were literally giving you a standing ovation right now.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you connected to the theater? So we're getting instant answers to the questions that we are delivering in the space. Now, keep in mind, we did do a base reading to make sure that we were not receiving any false positives using the K2 devices. But something happens that I can't explain that happens in front of my frame of the camera now. I know what dust and insects look like, and I know about this whole debate about orbs, but there's something that occurred in front of my frame that caused Matt to react before it appeared in front of my camera.
I'm very warm. My body temperature went up a lot. Maybe I said use any energy you need to, and maybe he or she used mine. I feel I do feel like a feminine, there you go, like feminine energy, very, very nice, polite.
Are you connected to one of us? Or are you connected to this building? What the hell is that?
What?
Okay, I'm gonna have to show you this, but something orange flew. Oh my god.
What?
Okay, something orange flew in front of the camera.
Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna have to go back and show you this, and then because everything, the particles that have been going back and forth have been white, but this one was orange.
Orange.
And it's so funny because it correlated with the device.
Yeah,
and
with the K2.
Yeah.
Do you remember the earthquake that was here?
I'm getting really cold.
You're getting cold?
I am getting freezing cold.
That's what I said, and I had to walk out because my feet were in the
You
chair.
are also underneath the vent. Is there any blood?
But I'm not feeling it
You're not
here.
feeling
I'm feeling it here on my legs.
Interesting.
Is there heat coming out of that? No?
Okay, yeah.
Down here.
Yeah.
Bryce, you are very tall.
I know. Bryce is like,
Okay.
Paranormal and super tall.
Do you remember a hospital being here?
Do you remember the Pilgrim House?
Notice how it hasn't moved ever since, Tammy. That you caught the orange thing.
okay, I'm gonna have to go back on this footage to show you what I captured, but it was orange and it flew in front of me.
It's been pretty responsive, Andy, for the past 10 minutes that we've been here. And not just to the lighter green, but to yellow and orange.
Sure.
And it's, look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really weird.
It stopped.
Yeah, it's stopped completely.
I think
Did
it's,
it
I think
stop
it's-
when I got here?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I
Exactly
think
when
it's
you
me
got here.
or you because I sat outside on purpose. So it has to be one of us. Like I'm gonna go out again.
Okay.
But why do you think it's one of you guys? Just too many people?
No, I don't know. I thought it was me.
I mean, I believe you if you think
I've been
too.
told I have.
Look at that.
I do
It's
a lot
not
of
doing
energy.
anything. You're getting this, right, Tammy?
Yeah, I'm getting
it's
this.
not doing anything at
Yeah.
all.
Like, we thought that there might be a little bit of electrical interference.
Look at this.
But it is still,
Insane.
You can come on back and go ahead and light the lights up again. We'd like to just get to know you a little bit more. And get to know
Thank you.
a little bit about the history about the place so that we can understand each other.
Are you glad that the other two left the bathroom? Can you light it up if you're glad about that? And now it's just us 4. 5, including you. Yeah. Wow, guys. Sheesh.
oh, do you want them to go downstairs?
Jeez, Tammy.
Do you want
them to get in their cars and
Do you want them to go outside, get in their cars and leave?
Do you know Mr. Takahashi? The caretaker of the building?
Yeah?
Is he a nice guy? Oof.
Yeah, that went down fast.
Is he a grumpy old man?
Is he in one of the green rooms? Waiting on us? Probably being prepared to be annoyed? This would be a good time, Tammy. I know it's downstairs, but to get the plasma box.
Let's get the Phasma box. Thank
Let's
you
do it.
so much. Yeah, let's do it. Thank you so much.
So I will be posting the video on Instagram to show you guys what was captured during that moment. It looked like an orange pink ball that just slowly came into frame. Now, dust particles and insects, they fly rapidly in front of your camera, in front of the lights, but this had a very steady movement, plus Matt's reaction before it was captured on camera was very astonishing. It could possibly be explainable. Now, I know that there are anomalies that are caused by humidity in the environment. That could be an option. But take a gander at it. Let us know in the comments what you think it could have been. Now, another interesting thing to note here is notice how when Tanya entered the space, she kind of acted as the cooler. And there's some people that have that ability. I know I've been in that position where I'll just walk into a space where people are claiming there's a ton of activity going on during a session. And once I enter that space, it just comes to a halt. So right there, it just proved that whatever was there with us really didn't favor Tanya and was actually happy that she left. And we'll find out why that is in our voice box session as we make our way to the green room. But on our way to the green room, we make a quick stop in front of a alumni board. Now, this is a board of actors that have performed in the East West Players Theater along with its organizers. And Tanya makes a pretty interesting validation once we come across this board with a specific person that she keeps seeing in the theater, followed by something that she sees that could have been following us from the very beginning. It really spooks the both of us.
Who is this?
That's Mako. That's the founding artistic director.
Oh, he looks very familiar to
He
me.
died like this past year, or quite recently.
He looks very familiar. He looks really familiar to me.
The first season and a half of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Right, because I remember
And someone had to
the
take over
episode,
for him.
right?
Midway.
And they like dedicated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the whole leaves on the vine.
Leaves on the vine, right.
Leaves on the
Yeah.
vine. See how they go.
The emotional terrorism on that episode.
How old was he when he passed away?
70s.
But that picture was not when he was 70 or 80.
No.
Oh, no.
Because the person who I see is older. They were showing me.
So yeah, I mean.
Did you not hear that?
I'm hearing that.
What, the car door slam?
Well, I just heard like a
No,
bump.
You're so
Oh, I heard a car door slam.
Oh, you're so
Oh.
The walking.
I'm hearing the walking and I keep on
What?
hearing it's like singing, like humming.
The walking is like almost heavy. I don't know.
I'm hearing like.
Maybe you're
I gotta start drinking.
Well, I mean, I started singing the leaves on the vine song from Avatar.
But it was female. Like I'm hearing a female like humming or singing. So we were hearing many different things. I kept on hearing a woman singing, almost humming, while Tanya picked up on more footsteps. Something was definitely following us, and it was going to continue to follow us all the way up to the green room so we could do our voice session. But in order to get to the green room, we had to cut through the lobby and through the theater. And Tanya and I teamed up to talk about what we were feeling and experiencing, and then something happens.
Tammy,
Uh-huh.
I swear to God, I thought you were right behind me.
What?
I thought that you were right behind me. I was gonna turn around and tap you to tell you, oh, look at that. I was reading it. I thought you were right here, like I saw your shadow right here. Please don't leave me again.
What's this one called again?
Phasma box. So it's like the spirit. It does what the spirit box does. It just is cleaner. It takes the frequencies from the internet radio, so it's not as.
Yeah. Nope. Here we go.
Legitimately my favorite thing. I want one of those.
You caught that right. It sounded like a woman agreeing with Matt saying yes. Now, I looked back on the footage. Tanya is still talking. That is not her voice, nor is it mine. And I'll play it back once more.
That's going.
Yeah.
I want to put it in a mask.
Sarah, anyone here with us right now? Ah.
You know, you can speak with us through this right here. and we can hear you through that. And we can actually hear your voice. So if you're a singer, come sing. Is there anybody who wants to speak with us that's in this room? What's your name?
Whoa. That was immediate.
Sorry? That was that. Mr. Takahashi, are you in here? He probably walked out. He saw us coming. He's like, oh.
Yeah, I'm done.
He saw me.
Yeah, they got Tanya again.
Is there a female present with us?
You guys aren't being super clear.
Is anyone here part of the First Union Church?
Yeah, you're welcome to speak through the box.
It's a lot of, it's like they're...
It's like talk and then it's dead silent.
Yeah.
And then say something. So that's new.
Does anybody know Mako here?
Mako, were you pretty big in Hollywood?
Pretty big.
Pretty big. Yeah.
Pretty big. Mr. Half... What?
Something.
Were you a big showman? We heard that you were the voice actor on a big show here. Can you tell us what show that was?
Does anyone here like to play peekaboo?
Yeah.
It's not like here they come.
Here they
I
come.
don't like to play peekaboo, so we're in the same one.
Who's coming?
Here they come.
Who's coming to play peekaboo with us?
Are you the couple we saw? Are you the couple? Are they not liking me?
Oh no.
Do you guys not like Tanya?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Why? Why not? And that's what's great about this is you can ask why not and get an answer.
Because of what?
Because of, that's all I heard was because of.
Yeah.
Something witch?
Whoa.
Did he
I
call me a
swear
witch?
it just said that.
Do you think she's a witch?
I mean,
What did they practice? What was the faith here?
Christian.
Christian.
Yeah, that's why they don't like her.
Oh, you think she's a witch?
You guys heard that?
I heard
Or what?
Did you hear that?
footsteps.
Yes.
I've been
Wait, is that
telling you,
shiny?
somebody's walking here.
Clear.
Like that you could hear the...
You could hear the ground creak.
Mr. Takahashi, can you speak through the box? You can just say yes. Doing a little K2 dance. Just really small.
Do you want me to leave?
Please.
I thought it said leave.
I thought it said
Oh,
leave
leave,
too.
leave.
It could say it.
Oh, okay. Well.
He's laughing.
He's just.
I'm very respectful.
Tanya's here to make communication with you guys. She's not here to try to kick you out or anything.
I respect your faith.
We respect all faiths here and all presences.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Interesting, yeah. Look, if you guys want to talk to us, we're here to listen. We just want you guys to come. Oh, okay. Is there someone that runs the show here?
You'd say, yeah, that's me.
That's you. What's your name? Don't be shy.
Okay.
Did you say Los Angeles? Is that where you're from originally? I know there's someone that's been following us. What year do you think it is here in Los Angeles? Were you here during the 80s? Do you remember Northridge? Do you remember that earthquake? How about this? Are we talking to the gentleman that passed away here in the structure? Did you hang yourself? It's a male voice coming through. My soul.
Where's your soul? Where'd it go?
It already hates me.
Get the hell out. So I just heard. Get the hell out.
Matt's enjoying. I'm recording this to show my mother.
I'm not enjoying this. I just think it's funny.
Mom, he's laughing.
You paid them off. I knew it.
Oh, God.
I'm not gonna talk to it anymore.
No, I want you to continue. This is
Of course you do.
Can you give us a name? Who are we talking to?
Do you know any of our names? Can you say one of our names?
Bryce is like, not Bryce.
I already have the name change paperwork there.
He's like, not Bryce. Are you saying Tammy?
Yeah, let's say Tammy. Definitely say Tammy.
Are you saying Tammy? Do you like Tammy?
Do you want me to go downstairs? Say yes or no if you want me to go downstairs. Right? But you gotta say yes or no. Do you?
Does that say your name, Tammy?
Oh, I thought it said yes.
I thought I said yes. Did you say yes?
Where do you want Tammy to go? Far away.
Well, you're on my boat now.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So that was a pretty interesting voice box session using the Phasma box. And we got some pretty intelligent responses, but we still don't know who or what we're still communicating with. So we decide to split up at this point. I team up with Andy as he takes me into the dressing rooms. Matt and Mark end up investigating more of the green room as Tanya and Bryce head towards the stage. And we will all reconvene in the stage after we completed our investigation to do a postmortem. So here is my walkthrough of the dressing rooms with Andy. And this is another hotspot too, where people have claimed to have seen shadow figures, and there is an entity of a child that people have seen and heard running around and enjoys playing peekaboo. So here it is. So this is where a lot of people have felt uneasy, you said, right?
Yeah, I mean, and particularly on the way to this bathroom here.
This one right here?
Yes, because I mean, particularly just like right here where you are, it was always like looking into this mirror and looking into this mirror, and like that kind of double, triple images, they kind of reflect into each other.
Mm-hmm. I see. I mean, it could possibly be like a trick of the reflection. I mean, has anybody had any? Oh, please not. Sorry.
So yeah, I mean, this was where we had another friend who claims to have some sight, and she had some very vivid images in both of these bathrooms of people who were in pain in some way.
Do they believe this is where someone had unalived themselves, or?
She didn't really know. She like I think it was this one that she had an image of someone with a lot of needles.
Okay.
And the other one had an image, I think, of someone hanging.
I see. All right. Annie and I continued to do a walkthrough around the dressing room, and at one point we even conducted an EVP session, but it was all silent. We make our way to the lobby, and I feel like I may have captured an EVP in this one segment as we're approaching the lobby, and here it is. At this point, Andy was in front of me, and I know he wasn't saying anything. And you can hear Tanya's voice in the background as we were approaching the stage. We had to cross the area of the stage in order to get to the lobby. Now, we conduct an EVP session in the lobby, and silence. And that's the thing about the paranormal at times. It's not like it's a light switch that you can turn on and off and expect to get something immediately. It's like fishing. You can sit on that boat and get a great catch, or you can literally sit on the boat and get great silence. And that's just the reality of it all. So the time now is 12:45, and we all decided to reconvene back on the stage. We wanted to do a post-mortem to see how the energy or activity shifted when there is no less than 2 people in each room. As we were waiting on stage for the rest of the group to meet up, Andy and Mark recalled with myself and Matt about the first paranormal investigation that occurred in East West 2 years ago through Twitch, and what they claimed to have collected on camera and audio. But then also, Andy recalls other locations in Little Tokyo that are also experiencing hauntings. And it's not just East West. And here's the audio along with our final thoughts.
Yeah, and another conversation going on.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they picked up on whispering or conversations.
Yeah, but we didn't hear it.
We didn't hear it.
Of course, but they picked it up on their
They picked it up
audio.
on audio.
Interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to look at the footage and then my night vision camera to
Right.
see if that caught anything. So even if it caught audible stuff.
That's true. You left it
Yeah.
rolling. So
We-
probably while we were, you could have captured the footsteps.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The other really
That's
interesting
right.
thing
Uh-huh.
We
with,
were
that,
filming
with that
that.
other investigation was, so we had 8 cameras running.
8.
Yeah. And there were, and of course some of the cameras kept dipping out right before things would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of those cameras, after all was said and done, it was no longer synced. Like it had, because, during the times when the cameras go out, it's just blank feed.
Right.
But then after all was said and done, one of them was out of sync and like time code and everything.
Oh.
It was longer than the other ones. It was like, that shouldn't.
Do you know what kind of
happen.
cameras they were?
I don't know.
Okay.
They, infrared, and they did have some like motion tracking.
Yeah, because usually those are, frames per second.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen when it's rolling. You don't change frames per second
Yeah.
when you're rolling. That doesn't happen, especially with those cameras.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's what they were saying. It was like,
Yeah.
this video clip should not be longer than the others.
Yeah.
Because they were all
Interesting.
rolling at the same time. Or they started right.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Andy, you mentioned something about the temple, about the little documentary that the security guards had done based
Oh,
on
yeah.
a woman that they
Um,
capture walking, right?
Yeah, well, no capture, but like a lot of the security personnel over there have had sightings, particularly in the basement, of what appears to be like a woman in a kimono from
The waist
torso
up.
up, but no feet.
Mm.
And it
Interesting.
Woman in
floats
white.
Yeah.
Woman in white.
This time is a woman in a white kimono.
Yeah.
And then you said
White,
that
yeah.
the folks at Space City Vintage also have crazy activity, which is
Yeah.
not that far. It's like a couple of doors
He
down.
apparently had to rehire his crews a few times because the people wouldn't want to work in there.
Wow.
Like like as in retail or
So no, and like when they were, so it was, there were like rooms and like walls inside, and he made the decision that he wanted to rip down all the
well, there you go.
and reveal like the old dance floor, because it used to be an old dance hall. So now it's a big open footprint space,
Interesting.
as it was historically.
Yeah.
But he'd have guys who were like working on the stairs or stuff, and they'd see like someone like basically crouched down Spider-Man style up in the rafters,
No.
kind of staring at them.
No.
What?
And they were like, we're
No.
not. He also had things where like racks
Chills.
of clothes would just push out,
Oh my, that
slide
is
across the room and stuff.
somebody's
Yeah.
pissed.
Somebody's
Yeah.
pissed because
That
you
is
disrupted their
terrifying.
space.
Yeah, and you're changing it.
Oh, I
we
got
said earlier.
chills. Ooh.
Dude, I literally just got like a jolt when we were telling me about that.
All right, so for us, it was pretty much dead. But what about you guys for postmortem?
Going off when we
We
started
actually-
to like
Really?
I think you were right. I think direct attention was
The
they were
back.
not about that life.
Yeah,
So we just started talking, and it was
then
like
it would,
everything
go,
around us.
And then over here we heard a bunch of noises, and then we
The
thought you guys
floor?
were opening the doors, but then you ended up there.
But you were up there, but we thought it was down
But we
here.
thought you were down here.
The floor was rumbling. At one point, I was just like, "Do you feel that?" And she's like, "Yeah." Like,
I was
just,
like, why is the floor just? So we just kept.
Does that
walking.
happen often?
it felt like
It's
someone
like
was going
somebody
like
was
this,
rolling it on rollers or
like
something.
that, but like under the chair.
And then back there,
And she just goes, "I see something moving behind you."
like
I'm not gonna look back
head,
there,
like
but
peeking its head out and then going back and peeking it.
but
and I
we
was-
were just like
well, we
talking,
just
and then this was like,
didn't stop. We just kept going.
Yeah, we were trying to get.
That happens sometimes when you are just minding your business and it's
Team
happening.
Chicken. Here we go.
Feed off the fear.
They feed off.
Team Chicken worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as we started ignoring them, this thing was like.
It was like every time.
And then if we would stop and look, it would
It
stop.
was like when I talked about acting,
It would light
when I
up.
talked about religion.
Yeah.
We were
So
talking,
you guys were getting responses based on, oh, nice.
so we talked about
But then like
religion.
when we would look at it,
It would stop.
It would stop.
Yeah.
But then when you talk about certain subjects, it would go off.
That's what I was saying,
And
I
it
was like,
happened.
We talked about the
Doesn't want
building,
attention. The
the
building,
bones
the
of the
history.
building being so nice, everything you told us, and it was like.
yeah.
Going crazy.
Yeah.
And then when we would look at it, it would stop. So then we just keep talking. I was like, forget it.
It happens. There was an
The stained glass
investigation
windows.
Oh yeah, yeah.
in David's house. I remember sitting with another gentleman, and for some reason, like the conversation was steered like baking cookies, and I'd be like, "Well, how would you make it soft? Like the cookies really soft and chewy." And on his audio, you heard someone offering their opinions, like more butter, no cornstarch. Like it was like it was. Oh my God, you heard that? And even remember, like the KT would go off as we're discussing it, you know. But everything else, like not once for us, it was like dead.
Yeah, like we talked about the windows. Yeah, told me about that. I was like, oh, you know, the windows are straight here, and it was like
Yeah.
red. I was like, oh, but it's so expensive to get red.
In everybody's opinion, what do you feel or think in regards to the East West Players Theater? Do you think it's haunted, or do you think that it's inconclusive? Based on just the couple of hours we were here.
Well, I think it's haunted. There's definitely things here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely. I don't think it's. But haunted always makes it sound like something's gonna scare you, right? But I don't think it's bad.
Did you hear those footsteps?
I don't
That
think
was
it's. I don't think it's
terrifying.
bad. I just think it's territorial.
Yeah.
But not
Yes.
not bad necessarily.
I think all theaters are haunted. I really
Yeah,
do.
there you go.
Yeah, I feel like there is several presences here. I feel like sometimes it could be possibly a rewind, a residual, something that has been an imprint, but I feel like there's other intelligent beings here. Like, because based on your accounts that you have in your own, like, personal files, like, they're very intelligent. Like, they know what they're doing, and they're responding to the workers because they can. So,
I mean, you guys do such important work here
yes.
that, like, it makes sense that the presence here is protective.
Yeah.
This deserves to be protected. The work and the building.
And it's survived so much, right? The
Yeah,
building has
right.
survived so much. So it's kind of like you guys are gonna like, I don't know. I get offended when people think I'm like a party trick, like I'm gonna tell your future. I'm gonna get the crystal ball. Like,
Yeah.
that's so stupid to me. So I kind of understand that, where it's like, well, this is like my life, you know, and this is like their life's work, right? This
Yeah.
building has like withstood so much,
Yeah.
and like.
And
It's
it's
just
still here.
a testament to the
here, yeah.
resilience of the people, right?
Yes.
Well, and
Completely.
it's also, I mean, it's always been interesting to me, this, the history of the building has always been, this has been a waypoint, right? Whether it's been a point for communities to meet or to come here before they go somewhere else, whether it was camp or, you know, coming here, you know, during the migration or
Right.
coming here as performers before they moved to New York
Yeah.
or, you know, book that thing, right? It has been, it always has been a waypoint. You know, this is another one of the things too that Abe always likes to mention is that apparently Abe, one of the workers, visual communications downstairs, likes to point out that apparently the land was never desanctified. So, you know, technically it's still a church, right?
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they were very active when we talked about religion here, up there.
Yeah.
That was like the main subject I think they were most
Yeah, this is where the
willing
altar
to talk
actually
about,
is.
if you will.
Yeah, I mean,
And
Oh, wow.
for this to still be that way, yeah, that's makes sense. We also, I forgot to add, during when we first turned on the fasten box in the third floor green room, we heard twice like announcers.
Yeah, it sounds
Like somebody announcing somebody on a stage. It was crazy. So yeah, that was pretty chilling. And then I was telling them we heard children in the fasten box.
You did?
Yep, we heard children and we were like, oh,
wow.
you know, we there was a lot of communication, and I think what you said is like they don't want all of us to be focused on
Right.
together. Like split up and we'll be comfortable talking.
Yeah.
We're scared.
You're very brave. I don't know what he's talking about.
We're very
We're
brave.
very
We had
brave.
3 lights on.
Mark and Andy, do you think that East West Players Theater is haunted?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's just so much history here, you know, and a lot of people have put a lot of their life and energy here. So,
Absolutely.
and I think, you know, tragic things have happened here too, you know, like especially when this was derelict, you know, and I think there was a lot of pain that happened here during that time. So, yeah, a lot of emotions.
Yes. What about you, Andy?
I don't know what I think. I honestly don't know what I think. But I mean,
You're
I did
open
buy,
to it.
I did buy some flowers, and I laughed at myself the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's still things where it's like, I don't know.
Everything is possible.
Everything is possible. We truly don't know what they are,
Yeah.
you know? Okay, well, with that said, we're going to call it a night.
Thank you so much, you guys. It was
Thank you
really
so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you
Awesome.
for coming in.
Oh, no,
Yes. No, thank you. We really do appreciate it. And we want to thank whatever's here for allowing us to walk through and attempt to make communication.
Hopefully, we didn't pester you too much.
Yeah, and too.
I know.
Yeah.
You guys can all stay here.
Follow us home, please. You will not like
What is truly haunting the East West Players Theater? Well, we go back to our answer in part 1. What makes theaters so haunted? Because a lot of times theaters are places that are historical establishments. It is a place where they have a stage that tells a story, but in all actuality, it is a location that is filled with stories. And those stories come to life through performers who is the theater's own conduits, and they demand history to be remembered. And most of the time, they're actually the speakers of the dead. We will never know 100% what is truly haunting the East West Players Theater in Little Tokyo, Los Angeles, but we do have a couple of guesses. Could it be its former caretaker, Mr. Takahashi, who is still taking care of the building even in his afterlife? Because at times we do return to the places that we love so dearly. Could it be Maku Haramatsu, who is still watching the success of the theater grow? Or could it be an echo from the past, back when it was the first Union Church, and have its followers come back to rejoice in its place once more? And you know, we're not going to 100% have those answers, but in the end of the day, and this is what I love so much about the paranormal, is that we have an experience, and that is a shared experience that we all have in this shared reality. And we're going to leave it there on that note. Till next time, friends, remember, stay Holly weird.
Leaves from the vine, falling so slow, like fragile tiny shells drifting in the foam. Little soldier boy, come marching home. Brave soldier boy comes marching home.